you, thank you. I just want to say again, good evening, and a good evening it will be. This is the first ever, and certainly the beginning of many, many, I'm sure, Paragon Cable Manhattan's PAL Awards. How do you feel about the evening, the ceremony, the ambiance? Let's hear what's the ambiance. I'll just make it very official that the Public and Leased Access Awards were created to honor dedicated independent producers and to encourage diverse and quality programming, and we'll be announcing the categories and the nominees in about a moment. I just want to take one moment for a personal reaction, and this is, you got to believe me, very sincere. There's no place I'd rather be than with you tonight in the studio and in hundreds of thousands of homes all over the countryside, because this particular week, I personally celebrate 35 consecutive years in TV. So thank you, thank you. So I didn't mean it for applause, but I just wanted to say that makes it a very exciting day, an exciting event for me. This week I'm being written about, I'm being wined and dined and honored, and you know, because of the 35 years, and I got the final accolade of fame. I walked in here a few minutes ago, a lady says to me, "How are you, Dr. Meltzer?" So I gave her a T-shirt. I don't have any T-shirt. No. But I do feel very, very honored and excited, because if anybody in the world feels good about young people, it's got to be me, because I gave the first exposure ever on TV. Nobody discovers anybody, but I gave the first exposure ever on TV to people like Barbara Streisand, Flip Wilson, Bill Cosby, Liza Minnelli, Joan Rivers, Dustin Hoffman. Big list, and these are some of the people tonight. And to look around the room and see all the people here that I've been on their show, and they've been on my show. I see Arlene Herson, Dick Ruffman, Arthur Grundig. I see Ingrid Leacock and Sammy Petrillo, and many, many more that we've done reciprocals. Me on their show, they on my show, and it's kind of a friendly, warm, wonderful feeling. Okay, now, I would like to introduce the first category, and our very special organizer and presenter will be our very own public access manager, Mr. Fritz Gerald. Fritz Gerald. Pleasure.
I'm glad to see we had such a great turnout. It took a lot of work to come up with this little piece of lucite here, but this really represents all of you, and I hope that, well, we'll be worthy of you continuing to support us. I'm not going to beat my gums too much here. We're going to get right on with it. We figured I'd go first so that we break the ice a little bit. The first category is Best News Show, okay? And these are the people that really go into the community and keep their people informed when the larger stations are not doing it. And we have two candidates, or two nominees. The first nominee is Noticias Dominicanas.
A las 10, un tributo a los hombres y mujeres quisqueyanos que ponen en alto el nombre de la República Dominicana en Nueva York. Vamos a seguir adelante y recuerda, hermano dominicano, que para los años de 1950-1960, la comunidad dominicana era el modelo de todas las comunidades latinas en la ciudad de Nueva York. Tratemos de emular a nuestros hermanos del pasado, comportándonos como una comunidad progresista y trabajadora.
The next nominee is Santo Domingo Al Día.
Señoras y señores, el bloque dominicano de televisión se complace en presentarles su primer noticiario, Santo Domingo al Día. ¿Qué tal, amigos de Santo Domingo al Día? Muy buenas noches. Hoy, como de costumbre, con su noticiario Santo Domingo al Día, un programa que se inicia hoy a las 9:30 de la noche. En el día de hoy tenemos muchas noticias importantes, varias entrevistas, el resumen que le prometí de la República Dominicana, cortesía de Colorvisión.
Okay, you might be surprised. Both programs are both in Spanish. Well, we have a heavy Spanish population uptown, and they do quite a bit to serve the Dominican and Spanish community. The envelope, please. I practiced this. never knew this was so hard. And the winner is, for Best News Program, Noticias Dominicanas. Okay. I see we have a great start. He's probably in the studio right now taping a show, which he does on a daily basis. So in that case, I'll be happy to hold on to it for him, and he can pick it up when he brings in the tape tonight. For Carmen Luna.
Okay, I'd say we're off to a wonderful start. That was Mr. Fitzgerald. Back to me, I'm Joe Franklin. I am your host for this very important occasion, and as we said, there are so many notable people in the audience, many notables who couldn't be with us tonight. I just received a telegram from the president of the United Cigar Company, and he wishes he could be here tonight, but he's with us. He's with us in spirit. The next presenter has worked with public access producers for over 6 years with you producers out there. She has listened to probably every story that could ever be told about why a program was not delivered on time. Please welcome Manhattan Cable's own wonderful Wanda Sanchez. Wanda Sanchez.
Yes, Joe. I've heard them all. My favorite line must be, why wasn't my program aired last night? It's the best one on cable. The nominees for that would be Marcus Garvey.
Which we live today is divided into separate race groups and distinct nationalities. Each race and each nationality is endeavoring to work out its own destiny to the exclusion of other races and other nationalities.
Yesterday meets today.
Leah Scott, your hostess, has been in performing arts for over 20 years as an actress, director, and producer.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another very exciting edition of Yesterday Meets Today. This evening, I'm very happy to have back for the second time in a year, Mr. Norman Price and the Dark Side.
And on Broadway.
This special edition of On Broadway will open our eyes to the designs of Desiree Tonique and look at the expressions of this talented designer. I'm Darrell Washington, welcoming you to On Broadway, a look into the world of fashion, a special edition. Exotic ethnic, definitely. Cotton boucher with multicolored linen pants.
And the winner is Yesterday Meets Today.
I am the most surprised person in this room tonight. First time I've ever won anything. And you notice I goofed on the tape. But I don't know what to say except thank you all at here at Public Access. Thank all the other producers, all the other wonderful shows I watch. And my producer, Roy. Thank you. Thank you.
Somebody just asked me the secret of longevity in my field, in the talk show field, where the mortality rate is so high. There have been 400 talk shows came and went since I began. 400. I told them the secret in my field is sincerity. And once you've learned to fake that, once you learn to fake that, then you got it made. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that was Wanda. And let me point out that many faces come and many faces go in public access. Here are two young men who gave up promising careers in the field of rap. I proudly present Mr. Michael Branch and Mr. Fred McGraw. Mr. Branch and Mr. McGraw.
And we'd like to thank you for this award right here.
Thank you.
We're here for the next category, which is the best musical variety.
Okay, nominees are Cable Magazine,
Hello, my name is Ingrid, and welcome to Cable Magazine, and this is what we call the Best of 1986. And tonight I'd like to present about 7 of our pieces from bands that appeared on the program during 1986.
International music video.
On today's program, when we say we take you traveling around the world of music, we literally mean it. Today's program, you're going to Brazil, the health spas of Switzerland, Germany, Canada, and we're going to end up in South Africa, but with a British twist.
and Yesterday Meets Today. Hold on. All right, here we go.
And the winner is?
And the winner is Cable Magazine.
guess I should say something.
Yes, please.
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank the studio from which we work, which is ELA Studio, and that's why we're able to present all of that. And also, I'm very glad to see our friend Joe Franklin up there, because he did tell me that was the secret of success, sincerity, and I've been trying, Joe. Thank you very much. I know there are some very good shows on the air, and we're very, very grateful to you. And I shall always treasure this, and thanks to Hector Martinez for helping me.
I told Ingrid when I was on her show, she asked me who was my first, I had 138,000 guests, 138,000, and she asked me my first guest ever. My first guest ever was Eddie Cantor, and Eddie Cantor said to me, "It's nice to be important, but it's more important to be nice." And you're a nice audience, and we're having a nice time here tonight. One of the, I would say not one of the, but Public Access's pride and joy, and that represents both uptown and downtown, is a very dedicated and concerned employee. As a matter of fact, this wonderful person single-handedly operates Channel J for Manhattan Cable. Let's welcome her now. Her name is Miss Vicki Garner. Vicki Garner.
Thank you, Joe. Good evening. I'm Vicki Garner. Channel J is public access one step further. The unique service affords many producers the capabilities to include commercials in their programs. The nominees for the Best Religious Show are Joy and Hope,
Have you ever seen the sign, "When we die, the one who has the most things is the winner"? Is the winner? What actually does one win?
Luz para nuestro tiempo,
Una luz para nuestro tiempo. Cristo dijo, "Yo soy la luz, el camino y la vida".
Bienvenidos, amigos televidentes, a una nueva presentación del programa Luz para nuestro tiempo.
and the world tomorrow.
This week on The World Tomorrow, David Hume.
Today, there's an explosion of interest in the occult and a fascination with the underworld of goblins, ghouls, ghosts, and demons.
And the winner is Joy and Hope.
Father Joe Baker, the co-producer, is the author and the designer of the concept of the show, so it is to him that most of the credit goes. But to the people at Telecare, the studio where we produced, is certainly an act of gratitude goes out to them, and of course to the people at Paragon who have made all of this possible. We extend our sincere thanks. Thank you very much.
Okay, Vicki Garner is garnering a lot of attention for Channel J, and that's a marvelous rundown on religious programming, which is so important. In case you've just tuned in, you're watching the Paragon Cable Manhattan's PAL Awards, the beginning of an annual ceremony. We're being seen, of course, from coast to coast. My program, people always ask me, how come I don't plug my show? I'll give myself a little plug. I'm on every night in prime time, 1 o'clock in the morning. And thank you. And if you watch me tonight, I want to mention everybody's name in this room, so please be watching. Everybody's name. Neil Hecker, former access manager at this station, could not be with us tonight. We've got with us as a very marvelous substitute, Mr. Donald Williams of the Dance Theater of Harlem, to present the award for the best gospel show, presenting Mr. Donald Williams.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The nominees for the Best Gospel are Dynamic Disciples, Next nominee, Opening Night.
My name is Bob LaPrince. Welcome once again to Opening Night, where we celebrate art in its finest form.
Sometimes I feel just like a motherless child.
And Uptown Gospel, finally.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching the Uptown Gospel Show, and for those of you that might be tuning us in for the first time, we want you to know that this program is designed to bring into your homes talented personalities from the gospel arena.
My king, the king. I know you never take.
The envelope, please. Thank you. I've always wondered how this felt. And the winner is Uptown Gospel.
I accept this award on behalf of our Willie Stoops, who produces the show, and I'll make sure he gets this first thing in the morning.
Okay, that's Mr. Williams. He is an elegant man and a good presenter, and you're a good audience. It just occurs to me about the audience. Every time they shoot the audience, you're such a beautiful and handsome audience. Every time I see the audience, I get such a tingle. So maybe I'll try like 30 seconds of trivia so we can show this audience. Help me finish this little slogan now. We're going to do a little bit of nostalgia. Swing and sway with Sammy Kaye. You're great. I'll try a tough one. Whose theme song was Racing with the Moon? Vaughn Monroe. Whose theme song was When the Moon Comes Over the Mountain? Kate Smith. You're fantastic. Whose theme song was If I Didn't Care? How about Charles Ward of the Ink Spots taking a bow? Charles Ward of the Ink Spots. So many good friends here tonight. A man who wrote some songs for me. How about one round of applause for Mr. Rick Stryker, a marvelous composer, Rick Stryker. Everybody in this room I'm serious now, is a celebrity and a star. And our next presenter, a star who once managed the public access department, but is now an independent producer himself, a sheer delight to welcome Mr. Andy Shear. Andy Shear.
Thank you, Joe. Well, this is definitely a trip down memory lane coming back here, and it's good to see everybody that I know and don't know. So, hello. I'd like to say a special hello to the crew. I haven't seen you guys in a while. I hope you remember all the things I taught you, Mike. That fuzzy focus shot, have you got that one down? And the foot shot, I think that was another one we worked on creatively for a while. The category I'm here to talk about is Best Talk. And the nominees are Let's Talk About It.
I want to say how delighted I am to have as our special guest Mr. Scott L. Folks. Not only because I remember Mr. Folks as a youngster growing up in Long Branch, New Jersey, but because he has actually gone on to do so many really positive and really inspiring things, and I'm very proud of him, okay, as your senior. Let's talk a bit about the past. What experience or experiences stand out most in your mind about the years growing up in Long Branch, New Jersey?
Well, I'd have to say that there's not any one experience that I can draw upon, but thinking back, it's the upbringing that my grandmother and mother provided in raising me and telling me that you can do anything that you set your mind to.
Arlene Herson.
We're joined now at this fabulous party at Maxine by none other than the lifestyles of the rich and famous, Robin Leach. Welcome.
Hi, Arlene.
When I say the lifestyles of the rich and famous, you really took something and made it into a whole lifestyle. However, it's not a lifestyle you were born into, but it's something, if anybody looks like they're having a fabulous time, it's you.
Well, I think, you know, the magic of television dictates that people have got to have a good time watching it, so it better look as if I'm having a good time doing it.
Meet your health professional.
Dr. Dale, thank you for joining us today.
It's good to be here.
Could you tell me, in discussing the way our looks affect the way we feel and so forth, there's a great deal coming about, as I understand, in dentistry lately. Could you tell me what's the latest in cosmetic dentistry?
Well, we've all been very excited about some of the newer innovations, such as bonding to restore fractured teeth, discolored teeth, teeth with stains, porcelain laminates. But the most exciting thing that we're now doing is called bleaching.
Okay, and the winner is... Just give me a second here. This was bonded shut. And the winner is Arlene Herson.
Thank you. I have to say thank you very much. Cable has been good to a lot of people. It certainly has been good to me. If it wasn't for cable television, I wouldn't have the incredible job I have and meet the fascinating people I do, like you saw Robin Leach and Joe Franklin, and I wouldn't have won this award. So thank you very much.
Arlene's success is also a tribute to hard work. She works on that show around the clock. You just can't walk into the studio. You've got to really prepare it and do your homework, and she's a good lady. And watching that dentist reminded me, if I could just give you 30 seconds, I got a letter. You might have heard me say this on my own show. I got a letter from a lady about a month ago. She says, "Dear Joe, I watch you every night. I need your guidance. I'm engaged to marry a man. And should I tell my fiance before or after the wedding that I've got false teeth?" And I couldn't help it. I answered her right on TV. I said, "Lady, my advice is get married and keep your mouth shut." That's one of the few times. That's one of the few times I gave any advice on television. Anyhow, congratulations to Arlene, and Mr. Shear is a marvelous producer himself. Many of you producers are familiar with our next presenter, and many of our viewers are as well. She's not only one of the lovely co-hosts of the fitness program Heavenly Body, but she's also a reporter for Paragon's Community Line. She's the public access coordinator, Miss Oneida Coward. Oneida Coward, a wonderful, wonderful lady.
Good evening. I just want to express how sincerely happy I am that everyone has come out this evening. I mean, let's face it, this is something that is long and well deserved for everyone. The nominees in the category for Best Informational Show are The Advocate's Report,
to all people with disabilities to share in a big part of America's heritage, to showcase the results of 4 years of hard work and the determination of hundreds of men and women from 2 countries, the United States and France. Today, people with disabilities have access to the ferry. New grading, which are on today, allows visitors to move easily about Liberty Island.
Today on The World Tomorrow, we're going to be talking about stress, how it affects us, and what we can do about it. To begin, let's take a brief look at the lives of some people who are currently living with stress. Ron is a 32-year-old salesman. He's hardworking, recently divorced, and often alone. He's on the road a lot and puts between 50 and 70,000 miles on his car every year.
and all about us.
On the subject of positive black businesses on the move, I'd like to welcome Roy Hassick, CEO, Caribbean American Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Welcome, Roy, to All About Us.
Thank you very much, Carol. First of all, let me thank you for inviting me, and it's an excellent opportunity to talk about the Caribbean American Chamber of Commerce and Industry.
And alas, the envelope. The winner is... Okay. The Advocate's Report. I'm sorry to say they're not here this evening, but we'll hold this for them. They'll come sooner or later. Thank you.
Okay, we congratulate the invisible winner. I want to thank Ms. Coward of Paragon for inviting me to be the MC here tonight. I want to thank the management of WWOR-TV for giving me the okay. I'd like to introduce, if I can, one of the first ladies of journalism, a lady who always writes about public access. She believes in it, and she manages and edits and publishes many, many magazines. Miss Ann Charles. Ann Charles, stand up and take a bow. She's one of the ladies who really believes in public access, as do I. It gives me great pleasure to present the award for the best show on location. And the presenter is none other than the wonderful Paragon manager of community programming, Mr. Jim Carney. Jim Carney.
And dissolve camera 5. Hello, everybody. As you can see, I'm coming to you from here up in the control room on location. And I think it's a particularly important award because doing shows on location is very difficult, and it's a very high honor for these people who are able to do that. So right now I'd like to announce the nominees. If we can roll tape, please, and dissolve. Seniors helping seniors.
I would say, 5 years ago, it was very hard for a senior to open the door to a younger person. When I say a younger person, a teen. They were frightened, but the teens are teaming up with the seniors.
Yeah. Tend to offend.
Tend to offend, real headbanger. Oh yeah, my cross-personal friends, Vaudeville. Hot video, and it's gonna be a hot New York City Tend to offend summer for everybody. Yeah.
Sabor Boricano. And dissolve back to 5. Okay, as you can see, we have quite a mix of nominees there. The envelope, please, for my assistant director. I've never done this before. And the winner is ready. Camera 3. Seniors helping seniors, dissolve to 3.
Thank you. And this is an award for many quite elderly volunteers for doing more than their share to keep your grandparents and your, I don't know, great-grandparents going. Thank you.
Congratulations to a wonderful lady, and we again thank Paragon's on-location manager, Jim Carney. We saw him on location in his control room. We're honoring cable television's dedicated independent producers, the first award show of its kind, and certainly not the last. Our next presenter, ladies and gentlemen, takes a special interest in community events, community programs. You can rest assured anytime there's a good cause, there will be the wonderful Paragon producer, Cheryl Johnson. Cheryl Johnson.
Good evening. It's wonderful to see all of you out here. The Public Access Department is very important to us because it really reflects the community. We can only cover but so many events and community programming, and public access producers are always there covering everything that we don't get to. They're there before us, after us, and with us. Right now, I'd like to present the nominees for the most original show. And the first is The Singing Salesman.
My gift-giving treasure hunt is going to take us right now to Midtown, where I discovered the grandest of dames. Boy, is she wonderful. I've got dinner for 2 for this lady walking up the street. And it's going to be at the Wine and Apples restaurant. Yes. Oh, excuse me, miss. I'm from the Singing Salesman Show. My name's Marty Eccles. I've got dinner for 2. You can have dinner at the Wine and Apples restaurant. What is your name?
Is it for nothing?
It's for nothing. You don't have to do anything.
Sure?
Positive.
The Beyond Vaudeville program.
Alois, you have the greatest laugh, and people know and love you. And
you know, I'm going to tell you something. There's got to be a telethon that fits him, you know. Well, because it's amazing what they do with chemistry.
and joy and hope.
Have you ever seen the sign, when we die, the one who has the most things is the winner? Is the winner? What actually does one win?
Well, after that discussion of the winner, let's see who the winner is. The winner for most original show is Beyond Vaudeville.
Okay. Thank you, and thank everyone for choosing us for the Beyond Vaudeville program. I'm Frank Hope, and this is my co-host, Dave, and we want to thank our producers, Kathy Kickert, Steve Korn, Rich Brown, and I want to thank everyone here, and especially Joe Franklin. Let's say hi to Joe. Dave, come on.
Pleasure.
I think it's a little sick to get an award for this
All right,
film.
no, all right, we're gonna show this on our show every time, and after later tonight, because we won, we're gonna have Fluffernutter party at my house.
Now, let me tell you, that's the kind of a show, it's kind of a show not only closed theaters, it closed cities. No. No, they are fantastic. Beyond Vaudeville. Okay, moving right along, as they say in TV, the producer is the vital instrument in every production. Clarence Greer has joined us from Manhattan Cable to present the Best Producer Award. The award, Clarence,
hello, Mr.
Best Producer.
Yes, thank you. I'm here to give the award for Best Producer, and as someone who's had a long association with public access and public access producers, I just want to say that you can only give one award, and I'd like to commend all of you for the hard work I know you do week in and week out to put your programs on, so I do want to commend you. Okay, Best Producer, Each One Teach One, Bob McKellogg, producer. McCullough, that is.
Show them all the beauty they possess inside.
Hi, welcome to the Each One Teach One show. Tonight, my special guest is Mr. Hanif I-Shabazz. He's a consultant for the Harlem Third World Cinema Institute. Hanif, welcome to the show.
It's my pleasure, and I'm just so honored to be here this evening, and I do agree with your whole logo, Each One Teach One, and I'm just very honored once again to be here.
Well, thank you.
People to People, Sinclair Clement, producer.
I'm going to ask you a question. What does the names Jeffrey Banks, Giorgio Imani, Robert Comstock, Bill Robinson, Kenneth Cole, Calvin Klein, and Tony Randall have in common? You don't have to guess, ladies and gentlemen. The answer is Barbara Jo Howard, who happens to be the co-chairman of the Cuddy Sock Menswear Awards on their 8th annual presentation at the Men's Fashion Association. And she's here to my left, and this is the common bond.
Opening night, Bob LaPrince, producer.
My name is Bob LaPrince. Welcome to opening night. My special guest this evening is Miss Gatsby Greeley, along with Bill Parker and his fabulous seniors, and the wonderful group Masterpiece. Without any further ado, let us take you back to Masterpiece.
And the winner in the Best Producer category is opening night, Bob the Prince.
Well, I thought they were getting mighty close to the end, and I said, well, I'll save the speech till the next time, but I thank you very much. And I'm particularly glad to thank friends of mine that were here a couple of years ago when we started, including Fred and Mike, Anita, Evelyn, Mike, Ron, Mitch, and Fritz, and all those people who made this program possible, and particularly to the minority artists who made opening night possible, and to all of the producers who try with little or no money to keep the picture going and to keep hope eternal.
Okay, in case you just tuned in, ladies and gentlemen at home, you're watching the Paragon Cable Manhattan's PAL Awards. I'm Joe Franklin. I'm your host for the evening. Somebody asked me if I was really Billy Crystal. You ever see Billy Crystal do the takeoff on me? I finally got to see the tape of Billy Crystal, because I'm on the radio when Billy Crystal is on doing the takeoff on Saturday Night Live, you know. But I finally got to see the tape, and when I saw it, you know what I said? I said, one of us is lousy. I'm not saying which one. And what we're doing tonight, I mentioned how Ann Charles is reviewing tonight's event for her magazines, and there are many other distinguished ladies and gentlemen of the press covering this event tonight, this wonderful ceremony, and I think we ought to mention, if it's okay with you, I want to dedicate tonight's show to the man who invented TV, and I happen to know that he's at home watching now in his apartment in New York. How about one round of applause for Milton Berle, who's watching tonight, okay? Milton Berle invented the whole procedure, and I told you he's watching. I just want to say, Milton, may you live to be as old as your jokes. And that wishes him, that guarantees him a long life. Now for the best host. That's a subject I might know a little bit about, I guess. The host should be well-versed in his area of interviewing. He should be able to make the guests feel comfortable in sometimes new surroundings. And presenting this award for the best talk show host on cable is a fine TV executive, an excellent manager of programs, Mr. Josh Kaplan. Mr. Josh Kaplan.
I just want to take a moment to really send out my thanks to Fritz. I think the best thing I've done probably in my 10 years or so of television was to bring Fritz back here from ABC. Anyway, on with the business. The nominees for Best Host are Sammy Petrillo for Ask a Lawyer.
Joe, I'd like to ask you, if you were to ask a lawyer a question right now, what question might you ask him?
Spontaneously, off the cuff?
Just right off the top of your head.
Unrehearsed? Okay, I've got a good one. What should a person do immediately following an accident?
Very good question. Let's see how our lawyers answer that one.
Arthur Grundig for the Arthur Grundig Variety Show.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Arthur Grundig Variety Show, Jerry King. And tonight we have as our guest, I think maybe she's the only woman drummer in, Shirley Barron. Here she is in all her glory.
Ronalda Higgins for Voices and Choices.
Good evening and welcome to Voices and Choices. My name is Ronalda Higgins. I'm Director of Public Affairs at North General Hospital. And tonight again, Voices and Choices brings to you people whose voices are being heard and whose choices are making an impact on our lives.
And the winner is Arthur Grundig.
Thank you very much. And my show is a tribute to Jerry King, one of the world's greatest piano players. I only had $100 million, all right? Thank you very much, and God bless everybody. May you all live to be 200. And Joe went down to Gimbel's the other day for a job, you know. He went for the screen test, right? and he starts selling screens in Macy's window next week. That's Joe. Thank you very much.
Okay, that's Arthur Grundig. Arthur Grundig. I want to thank Arthur and my dear friend Dick Ruffman and Sammy Petrillo for keeping nostalgia alive. And these are good people, and we are all sentimentalists. Now, on a very sentimental and really sad note, but as upbeat as we can make it, on Tuesday, January 12th, 1988, a few days ago, public access lost one of its most energetic and colorful personalities, but with us tonight in spirit. This recording artist, performer, songwriter achieved citywide stardom at a very, very young age. She used her own program to showcase young, talented individuals, and she was the most talented. Accepting this posthumous award is her father and producer, Mr. Oliver Richardson. Mr. Oliver Richardson.
Everybody gather round and listen to the truth. I got a little something I want you to do, and that's enjoy yourself with the world's top rapper. This place is gonna jump a whole lot faster. I hope you have on your dancing shoes, so when you leave this place, it won't be with the blues. So find a friend and grab a hoe and listen to the girl who's 24 karat gold. 24 karat gold. 24 karat gold. 24 karat gold. Listen to what you have to say. 24 karat gold. 24 karat gold. 24 karat gold. Listen to what you have to say. Just look around today, people can't control the way they treat their minds, bodies, and their souls. There are only a few who have a positive force, and the other half of them are just totally lost. So check it out now. Do you hear what I'm saying? And if you do or don't, either way, start praying for the bad to turn good and hate turn to love. The one who can help is the man up above. Take this advice. It's not much of a load from the girl on the mic who's 24 karat gold. 24 karat gold. 24 karat gold. 24 karat gold. Listen to what you have to say. 24
Although my daughter Goldie's life was terminated in a comparatively short span, thanks to public access, which aired her popular Goldie's Hot Rap show, she still had her chance to make a sizable contribution to her community and to receive recognition from her peers and many of their parents. As a result, she had her days in the sun, and she felt the initial flushes of success, which gave her much happiness. In behalf of Goldie, myself, and her many fans, thanks very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I just assure Mr. Richardson that as long as there's a television screen, whether it's public access or non-public access, any kind of TV, your daughter will be remembered and honored. TV from now on will be a tribute to Goldie, a beautiful, wonderful lady. Goldie. I think our ceremony is nearing conclusion. I'd like to maybe introduce everybody in the room as a star or a near superstar. I want to introduce one young lady. I've had the privilege of being invited to be on a show, and I'm going to make it one day soon. One of the few singers, and this is a fact, who can single-handedly pack Alice Tully Hall, Carnegie Recital Hall, a huge following, beautiful lady, been my anchor lady on my TV show many times, Miss Vera Alec. Vera Alec, would Vera take a bow? Beautiful, beautiful lady. One more pretty lady, because, you know, pretty ladies, they told me when I broke into TV, light up a screen and glamorize it, and you never go wrong with a pretty lady. Sammy Petrillo's partner, Miss Susie. Susie, take a bow, Susie. One bow. I believe the ceremonies and the awards and the happiness is just about concluded. I'd like to ask Mr. Fritz, Gerald, if Fritz is here, to get up here and summarize, and things have concretized and crystallized and come together, and now comes a beautiful word or two in parting from a beautiful man who made tonight greatly possible.
I think that just about wraps it up, except for the final award. Now, they just keep coming out of the woodwork. I don't know. It was in the budget. We said, let's spend it up. The last award goes to a person who really, without his appearance, let me put it this way. Public access producers have a lot of heroes, but there's one name, one man that stands head and shoulders above the rest. And without him, I don't think this could have gone over as well as it did. And I think you have an idea of whom I'm talking. Mr. Joe Franklin.
No, I just want to say, I have received many plaques, many trophies, but I want to tell you in all honesty that this is the most recent. No, I mean that. No, somebody asked me, how's business? Somebody asked me, my good friend Dick Ruffin asked me, how's business? I told him plaques and trophies were ahead 20% this year. And meetings were ahead 30%. But this is one, Fritz, that I will honor and cherish. My guest was Georgie Jessel, who said to me, may you live as long as you want, and may you never want as long as you live. And that goes to all you beautiful people. Thank you, and I love you. Invite me back. Thank you.
So as we go off the air, I'd like to call up the Public Access family. That does conclude the award ceremony for tonight. Hopefully, in the coming years, we'll stretch it out and do like the other big award shows and go over, and you know, everybody stays so late and goes to sleep on the air and everything like that. But I'd like to bring up Evelyn Onifray, the TD, and Onita Coward, my public access coordinator, and Sherry Harris, who's interning with us. Come on up, Sherry. I wish I could get a shot of Mitch Levinson behind the camera there. I don't know if that's possible, and Mike Murray on the other camera, but these are the two cameramen that make access possible uptown. So we'd like to thank everybody for coming out tonight. Have a good night.